Welcome to Moss Marketing Mondays, aka the M3 Podcast. Brought to you by Moss Marketing Group, bringing you everything marketing every Monday. Stay tuned for marketing tips and tricks you can use today. The M3 Podcast, marketing knowledge to help you succeed. Let's get started.
Welcome back to the M3 Podcast. Today we are very lucky for a new guest on, Toni. And back from Cycle of Heart with Anna, we have Lauren and Dre. So thank you for coming on today, Toni.
Thank you for having me.
I know you were telling us you were a little nervous. Don't be nervous.
Not nervous at all.
Call her out right out of the gate.
Not nervous at all.
Live right out the gate.
That's right.
So you own Scimeca's Deli
I sure do.
down in Northtown.
Yes.
I feel like most people probably already know what that is. And coming from the Scimeca family with Scimeca sausages and everything in Kansas City, a very well-known name around here. So with that, what has led you into the story of Toni coming up to open Scimeca's Deli?
So my family has been in Kansas City for ever. And my great-grandfather opened Scimeca's in 1935. So we've established a name for ourselves here in Kansas City, as well as outside of Kansas City market area. He came into Kansas City from Italy, opened a grocery store and market on Independence Avenue in Paseo in 1935. He had $10 in his pocket and a sausage recipe. So from there, everything unfolded. The grocery business down on Independence Avenue was our livelihood. I've been working there since I was 12 years old. My dad and my brother have well established the name. My grandfather, my uncle, my great uncle, has really put a lot into what we do at Scimeca's. It's a family ran business. We've always kept it in the family, always have friends and family that has worked for us. Scimeca's sausage is in every grocery store and restaurant around Kansas City.
I feel like that is extremely cool to have that behind you. And I know that's a lot about your family history and things like that. I've had feedback of us needing to get better intros of who is here with us today. And what is the Toni story?
So the Toni story is I have been married for 23 years. I have two beautiful children, a wonderful husband. I have always been a worker my entire life. That's all I live to do is work. You've seen it, Dane. You've been down to the place. I'm always on the hustle. That's how I like to refer to myself, as I'm a hustler.
100% true.
I was fortunate enough to be able to stay home with my children, and came time when my children were able to drive themselves around and I wasn't doing that. And I felt like it was time for me to step into the world of working. And I had some great ideas for my brother and my dad. For 10 years, they said, no, we don't want to do that. We don't want to ship nationwide. We're doing just fine. And I said, but you guys have already tapped out Kansas City, so it's time to expand the business. So that's where I came into play in the family business. I love to cook. I'm so passionate about food. Our product, I believe, stands out far and beyond anybody else's sausage products, but that's just me. I'm biased. So I shot him the idea again. I went and got a corporate job. It lasted about 8 weeks. And then I tried. And then they said, okay, we're ready. Put a plan together. So that's kind of how Scimeca's Market and Deli on 1611 Swift Street, North Kansas City came about.
Plug address right
right.
here. Yeah, it's I know we've been a part of it for 5, 6 months? Oh, it's longer than that.
About 8 months.
8 months.
Yeah.
I'm not good with numbers.
Just the growth side of it has been.
It's been amazing, and
phenomenal.
there is so much more in the pocket that I can't wait to flash forward and come back on and talk to you guys about it.
I think with Lauren being someone that helps with the marketing side of everything with Scimeca's, and we have Dalton and Logan and everyone else that is working on these things all the time. What, Lauren, do you see from other accounts that we have of the Scimeca name, what it brings to the table.
It just, like someone like me, I'm not from Kansas City, so when I started with MMG, I didn't know, but now after working with the business and doing the marketing, it's like the Scimeca's name everyone knows, and we've been there for lunch a few times, and just there were many guests there every single time we've been there, and so just knowing that you guys have like established yourself in the Kansas City area.
And I do have to credit that to my father and
Yeah,
my brother,
yeah, yeah.
because they have worked their tails off. I mean, my dad, all growing up, my dad worked every single day. Some days he was home at dinner time, some
Yeah.
days he was not.
Yeah.
I see that in myself. I mean, he has instilled in me work ethic, giving to the community. We do a lot
Yeah.
of giving back to the community. We've always done that. So, I mean, I give props to them because
Yeah.
they're the ones that have established all this. And
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
just riding their coattails.
I would say that with what you do and the work ethic, you can't discount
yes,
that
absolutely.
whatsoever. And for anyone watching, the only time I can get a meeting with Toni is at 7 to 7:30 in the morning. It's the only meeting I have all week that is first thing in the morning.
And when you're there, I make you run around with
Yeah.
me while I'm there. I'm like, I got to get things
So-
prepped, so you're going to have to walk and talk.
So I'm either like in gym clothes, I'm going to go to the gym after, or I don't go at all. And
Right.
she's rolling in at 7 o'clock. She's like, I've already been to the gym this morning at 5:15. I'm like, oh my gosh,
Yes.
what am I doing?
My day starts at 4:30,
Yeah.
just about every single day, except the weekends.
It is the work ethic. You can't discount that
Yeah.
whatsoever. Your family has a very strong name behind it, but what you have built in Northtown is 100% you.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
And that work ethic of what we watch from our side, the marketing side, it definitely helps.
Yes,
Absolutely.
It helps
the
us a
marketing
lot.
side's pretty fantastic.
It helps us a lot on the result side, just comes so quick.
Toni, do you feel like, I know you went a little in depth that when you entered the business, you said that you wanted to expand and start shipping. Do you feel like you've done anything else differently since joining that has benefited, or maybe it was
I
wasn't
do.
beneficial?
So here's the one thing about my business and restaurant business, and as far as my family goes. Back when my dad had the store on the avenue, if you walked in there and got a meatball sub, it's going to taste exactly the same if you walk into my place. So the recipes have never changed. Consistency, we've always been consistent on our products. We've always been consistent on how we treat people when they come in. I think that is huge. I feel like my staff is a huge bonus to my business, because everyone talks about how friendly my staff is and how accommodating they are, and I think that is very important in a business.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly how it was when you walked into my dad's store.
I feel like last time I walked in there, I was lucky enough. I did get a few minutes of your time. You came over, you sat right down with me, talked to you. How's your day going? And everything.
Right.
I'm jealous. I don't get that, but
You do.
You win some, you lose some.
You do.
But I feel like you do that to every individual and everyone that walks in that place. If you have time or one of your staff has times, they actually get the privilege of sitting there, and someone just asking how someone's day is going can literally change their entire day around and be like,
And I really
Okay.
try, if I know most of the regulars when they come in, and I really try to connect a name with the face. I think that's important. So when they walk in, it's not, hi, how are you? It's, hi, Joe, how are you? Or hi, how are you doing?
Yeah.
How's your day been? How's your weekend been? And I think it's important. Sometimes I get held up in the kitchen or in the back where I'm trying to get some stuff done in my office, and I get bored, and I'm like, I got to go out and talk to people. So then I go out and I go to around the tables and ask them how everything is. And I just think that's important to have that rapport with the customers when they come in.
I will say that was the first time I saw you up front. I was like, oh my God.
Come on.
you'll
usually-
see her out there. She's just, the whole place is full. And
Right.
I understand coming in when you're busy.
I'm usually the middleman.
Yeah.
I'm
so-
usually taking orders up to the front, calling out names, or making sandwiches, or I'm in the kitchen helping out.
Yeah, you're definitely.
I'm
hustling
definitely
every time.
hands-on.
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember coming in one day, and I go up and I order everything, and I talk to Toni for 30 seconds, and she goes to the back, and there's this older gentleman up there, and he's probably 75 to 80. He looks at me. He goes, "Do you know Tony?" I was like, "Yeah, I do." He's like, "I'm good friends with Phil." And he starts going through and showing me pictures of him in a newspaper back in
Yep.
yeah,
The
just
70s probably.
70s probably.
Yes.
And he showed me these newspaper articles that he has pictures out of when he was at Scimeca's at the old location, all this
Yeah.
stuff. And I'm just like,
That is one of the things that happens all the time.
yeah.
Every single day, even today at 3:00, someone came in, ordered things to take home for dinner. And they're like, we used to go to the store on Independence Avenue. It was like the best thing. My mom would bring us in there on the weekends, or my grandma would bring us in. So every day there's a story. Every day.
I think there's so much history behind that, which I think we could probably have a whole entire podcast episode on just the history of Scimeca.
Yes,
Mhm.
we could.
That I'm intrigued with what it looked like when you were 12 years old working there.
It was amazing. I mean, I was cutting meat. The only thing that we don't do it currently at our location is make the meatball mix. So people would come in and order, I want pork, veal, and hamburger meat, and we'd have to put it through the grinder and make their hamburger or their meatball mix. To me, it was the grossest job ever, but I did it with a smile. I'm like, okay, every single time they came in, and we still have people call and say, do you guys still have the veal or the meatball mix? I can come in and get some. I'm like, no, we don't do that. So that's one thing they miss.
Yeah, that's I think just the family name. I think that there's so much that comes behind it, and then you've lived up to 100% of all that.
Then there's so much more down my sleeve. I mean, I have so many ideas. I can't wait to roll them out. There's a lot more to come, and I'm not stopping there.
I think we talk about that a lot of times at our meetings. That I feel like 75% of our meetings probably aren't really even about the marketing side.
It's the ideas of what I have.
It's about what Toni has rolling out next, what's
Yep.
coming down the pipeline, and I don't know. I enjoy hearing those.
And my
things.
wheels turn every single night. I'm like, okay, what can I do different tomorrow to make it better, or what can I do to bring more people in? You guys have done fantastic. I mean, it has helped tremendously. Today I had 4 caterings that went out before 11:30. I think that's amazing. So catering, nationwide shipping, just the deli and market in general, it's been incredible.
I think you've really capitalized on so many different markets.
I have.
that when we started off, I feel like it was like, this is what we're going to focus on.
Right.
And then we found out really quick that the hotspot was everyone likes the deli. Like
Mhm.
everyone loves to go get lunch there. And then that was like just like
And the whole entire reason why I opened was nationwide shipping, and it's picked up and it's taken off. It's great, but it's coming in and feeling that you're welcome there all the time, and that when you're there, you feel like you're at home or a part of the family. And that's exactly how we've treated everybody, even back when we had the store on the avenue.
I mean, I enjoy going in there.
I do.
Yeah.
I probably speak for everyone that no one's went in there. We also have, with this, we have access to everyone's Google My Business of every account that we work with. And I'm not surprised when I'm in bed at 11 o'clock at night, my phone's like, brrr. I'm like, what's that? It's like, oh, 5-star for Scimeca. So I'm like,
Yeah.
what's that? Another 5-star for Scimeca.
And I try really hard to Google My Business. I try and send something back to everyone's response. I do the same thing. So at 11:30 at night, I'm doing the same thing. So
just so you know, I'm in bed. I'm also getting a notification that that happened.
it's usually me responding, because that I do that. As soon as I get home, I'm like, okay, it's time to chill out. And then if I'm not on TikTok, then I'm.
So on that, with business and leading into that, what do you feel like you have done different than another business owner and seen such phenomenal growth in such a quick time period?
So I think a lot of things that I do is just making people feel like they're at home and like they're part of the family. But I've also, I really enjoy trying to get people to buy things or talk to them about products, because a lot of people don't know about some of the products that we have. And I also established a line of products that we didn't have at the old store. If you walked into my dad's place 25 years ago, my store is a replica of his imported section of his grocery store. So everything that he had in his imported section, before I opened, I said, Dad, the one thing that we need to have, because it's the one thing that I remembered, is we have to have brioski. And he's like, brioski? How do you remember that? Well, as kids, we used to go in the back, and it's an antacid for
I don't know
heartburn.
what that is.
Okay, it's the blue bottle that's on the top shelf. When you come in, I'll give you some.
I need some.
You can sample some in my office. Because I still do the same thing that I did when I was a kid.
If it helps with heartburn, I'm in.
Yes, I go and take a handful, and it kind of just bubbles in your mouth. It almost looks like you're foaming at the mouth. And so as kids, we would all take a whole bottle back in the back. We'd shove a whole bunch. No, we did not. But we'd shove a whole bunch in our mouth just to show that the foam was coming out of our mouth. So, but people buy it all the time. And so it's a complete replica of what my dad did in his imported section. We've added, I think I have 23 new lines of product that is private labeled for us. Scimeca's top sellers are candied jalapenos, our
phenomenal
crushed olive spread. Our salsas are amazing. I don't know if you've tried any of the salsas.
I've tried most.
But the Serrano salsa.
She gives me lots of stuff when I come in, which is a big plus.
I try. You don't have your Sausage King shirt on today.
I was in the truck, and I was telling them I was going to wear my Sausage King shirt on the podcast, but I didn't.
You should have.
I should have.
Yeah, it's rude.
You just got called out.
I might as well just leave.
Now, I will say the gift baskets we got this Christmas, those were amazing. And every individual I gave one to, they're like, you go to Scimeca's? Yeah. I'm like, is that not meant for like a younger demographic, or do you target younger demographic? Do you bring in a lot of younger demographic?
So North Kansas City they have a lot of young demographic people there. And we have a ton of local community people that come in and shop our products. The gift baskets, my mom is phenomenal. She the first year we did gift baskets, we had no idea what to expect. And she goes out and she shops for every gift box, every utensil that goes in the gift box, and they all have to be, and every towel, and they all have to be coordinating. So everything looks like a model home when it goes out of there. And she works very hard. The first year one company did 150 gift baskets that were like $125. And we packed them up to ship out. And this year, our gift baskets, we did quadruple what we did last year. So
I made sure I got in there early to get all mine because that's became a Christmas poster.
Yeah. You got for mine. Yeah. I came in.
But she texts us. She's like, "Can we start getting ads running for gift baskets?" I'm like, "Not before I come in and get mine first."
That's right. One day, and it was like every day this Christmas, my mom would go out and she'd put out 20 to 30 gift baskets. And she'd come back to the back and she's like, there are no gift baskets out there. I'm like, you do them too well, Mom.
And if you've met her mother, she's like the nicest human being ever.
Yes. Both my parents are fantastic. I mean, they are everything to me. And it makes me work harder to know that my parents are proud of me of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So
I think that comes to, most people that are working, their parents are, we're real big on our parents watching us. Like that's one of my biggest things of my parents watching us and being like, I hope they're proud of what we're doing. I hope they approve of what we're doing.
It's important.
It is.
And sometimes my dad will come in and he's like, what's going on with the meat case? There's no meats in there. I'm like, we've been busy. He's like, well, it looks like we're going out of business. And I'm like, I will fill them up when we're not busy.
I promise you we're not going out of business.
We're not going out of business, Dad. So,
touching back on that, with the gift baskets, stuff like that with shipping, since you came back from after your corporate, what were some of the biggest challenges you saw getting back into kind of a family-owned business, and what did those look like on your end?
So, first of all, we opened in the heart of COVID. I was supposed to open in March of 2020, and we didn't get to open until July because of COVID and health department pushing us back because they weren't coming in to check any facilities out. So we got pushed back. So that was really hard. Not to open when we wanted to open. Then we said July 8th's the deadline. Well, when I first opened, I had my son, my daughter, 3 of his friends, and one of my daughter's friends, and myself. That's how we opened the business. So it was really hard to, I had to train the boys on how to use a meat slicer. They never slice meat or anything like that. So it was just really hard. And then the cost of to-go containers and forks and spoons all individually wrapped and trying to stay within the COVID guidelines and catering with that was really hard at the beginning. Prices are starting to come down now, finally. I mean, a
2
little
years
bit.
later.
A little bit.
Realistically, what's coming down?
A little bit. Gloves were, almost $200 when we first opened, and now they're down to $99. So,
Well, you can go get free masks now, like every gas station.
Yeah.
A box of them.
you can get them anywhere.
Even though with those challenges, you guys seem like you made it work. You guys figured out how to overcome those issues. And
So yes, we did. When we first opened, and people weren't coming in to sit down at the restaurant. I mean, I've had to remodel 3 times since we opened, so that's a good thing. But when we first opened, it was really hard because you have to change your whole concept, your whole mindset of how you're going to run the business. Okay, now we need to do curbside because people don't feel comfortable coming in, let alone sitting down and eating in the restaurant, right? Or in the deli. So we just had to change our concept of how we were going to run our business and what was going to make us most successful. And accommodating to what the people wanted is how we've become where we are today. And we still accommodate.
a household name.
Yes.
That's a lot of the people we've had on the podcast so far. This is something I follow, so like I'm so on top of and I'm so intrigued with on different business owners is that pivoting point of, I think a lot of people get these challenges and they don't know what to do, and a lot of people just kind of crumple up and they don't overcome those challenges. It's a pivoting point on what you did to change your business, to adapt to a situation and overcome it. And the people that do make it through those pivoting points come out 10 times higher.
Well, I knew anytime I do something, I don't do it lightly. I'm all in or I'm all out.
I've come to understand that very quickly.
Yes. So I've been all in on this business, and will continue to be all in and make changes and adapt to how it's growing and what I need to do to make it grow. Like I said, there's a lot of things in the pipeline that I can't wait to unfold.
Yeah.
But it's a secret.
I got inside secrets. Can't tell you guys.
Right.
Sounds like insider trading.
Yeah, very much. So on that, I know that we touched with it when we spoke with Anna. What I know in today, the business world is very male dominated, and you come in and I think sometimes people discount you. I know from when I sit there and speak with you, there's sometimes that I know just from the shipping aspect and different things like that. Lauren, do you have something on you're a female opening up a business in downtown Kansas City, and you have, I feel like, way surpassed everyone else. So what are your thoughts on that, Lauren, to Toni, and just like kind of what we spoke with Anna about?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like getting to the point where you can say that you are successful is like the best feeling ever, especially because like if anyone has ever looked at you and said she'll never be able to, or like if they were trying to compare you to your brother or your dad and just be like, well, she's not them, like that's not something I feel like you have ever let be a challenge for you. You seem like you're a very, very determined person and individual.
I am very determined. Well, I was the only girl for 11 years, so I've always had to, be up there with the boys.
She's one of the
And
guys.
I will say there's nothing better than like a woman's touch in some things. Like, cause there are unfortunately some things that men just don't see, and that's okay.
Design her store, I wouldn't be able to design it.
Yeah, like there's just some things that need a women's eye or a women's touch. So,
yes, and my mom's very good at that too. With the gift baskets and helping me. I mean, she loves to decorate and
yeah. Yeah, could
we
you
need to
imagine
put this there? We need to put that there. Where I'm more like the boys, where I'm like, I just need to get the product on the shelf.
Yeah, you're like, I don't
my
care what it
dad's
looks
still
like.
old school, where we still need to stamp everything with the price gun.
Oh,
So I mean, there's that too.
Yes.
I will say I am impressed when I come in there. I grab something. I know exactly what the price is.
I know. I was
I'm
like,
not
can't we just put like little labels in front? He's like, no,
No.
everything's got to be stamped.
Have you ever used one? You have
click.
used
You have
this
to-
price gun since you were 12 years old. You know how to use it.
Yes. And so the one thing that when we first opened, he's like, we go back to how he used to do things at the store. So like the cheese containers are the same cheese containers and the spice containers were the same spice containers. Well, at first we weren't moving spices because I'm like, no one really wants a plastic container with spices. You got to jazz it up a little bit. So I do see the women's touch of having to jazz things up. And I have to pay tributes to Shannon because that was all her idea. I mean, my girls have great ideas. They always come to me and say, why don't we try this? I think we can move this. These would be great teacher's gifts or great gifts to take to a party. So they have great ideas. They work very hard, and I appreciate all of them.
I will say your staff is. I feel like when I go places and people compliment MMG and what Moss Marketing Group has done, that's not me.
No, it's your staff.
It's the team that is around me.
Correct.
And I always am the first one to give credit. Like, thank you, but that's not me.
Absolutely.
That's what the brains of the operation are all around me.
Yes.
I'm just kind of.
And I wouldn't be where I am today without them.
They're all making it all happen. I'm just like trying to make sure we don't run off the road.
Correct.
And when you go to your store, it's the exact same way.
Yeah.
That you have a phenomenal staff, front to back, everyone there.
Yep.
I feel like that has been a huge thing across all business owners that we have sat with, that they have built these phenomenal teams that I would be nowhere without the team that I have.
Absolutely. And it's very hard to find staff. I mean, I look at businesses that have gone out, and part of it's because of staffing, part of it's because of the expense of keeping a business open. I like to hire my friends because I like to have fun with my friends, and
Same.
they are all hustlers as well.
Yeah.
So that I try and find the hustlers.
We've talked about this before. Bush. We've talked about this on multiple podcasts, and I feel like it's kind of a reoccurring thing that when you see people that I tell everyone all the time, and I feel like I say it till I'm blue in the face, I don't look at resumes. I don't look at this stuff of hiring people. If somebody comes to me and they're a hustler and they're determined, they work, they're not chasing a clock every day, they just want to make it happen. I don't care.
And they want to help you be successful. And
Exactly.
they give you great ideas, great things to move your business forward.
Because it moves them forward too.
Correct.
And when
I know
and,
a lot of
and
people,
I tell them all, the more money or the more income we bring in, the better you get paid.
I mean, everyone gets paid more except for Dre. Like,
Right.
besides that, everyone's getting paid more except for Dre.
everyone gets paid more than my mom and dad. God love them. They're volunteers. I love them.
Because I touching on that.
Are you a volunteer too?
I'm going to get dad to volunteer. I'm going to get my dad to volunteer for
There you
my
go.
money.
But touching back on that, I know a lot of people try to steer away from hiring friends. Because like, what if I have to fire them? I'm like, you're looking at people where I'm like, are they really your friends? Do they want to see you grow? Because I'm like, if they don't want to see you grow, I'm like, then that's when you're sitting there looking, going, I may have to fire that individual. And
Right.
that you may lose a friendship over that. But I feel like everyone we surround ourselves with, and like you do at your business, they're all, you guys are going this way.
And I'm pretty straightforward with anybody, and with everybody.
You don't hold anything back.
No, I don't.
No.
And sometimes that could be a flaw, but
I don't feel like you do.
I don't
that-
feel like
Seems
it
like
is
you're doing
either.
pretty good.
Yeah.
I think you got to be upfront. My aunt comes and volunteers. My dad's sister, she's been around the business her whole life too. I am the first female that has stepped in the business, and I love every single minute of it. People ask me all the time, "Are you tired of it? Do you like it?" And I'm like, "It's the best thing ever."
I feel like when I come there too, though, I respect the hunger of people in business.
Oh, I'm
And-
hungry.
And we have 50 plus businesses that we work with. And I would say 60% of them, 70% of them, there's a hunger level that I see like in myself, that I watch this hunger, that there's nothing stopping me, I was watching a video the other day on Andy Elliott. He's a new upcoming sales training professional. Dude's, he's like, I'm beyond hungry. He's like, I'm starving. He goes, I am starving for what I'm going to make happen. And
that's exactly how I feel.
Every single time I see you, it's
something different.
It's something different, and it's pushing that bar further and further and further. And
and there's a lot.
And there's no ceiling to it. And that's where, when we work with companies and I work with a business owner directly, and I see that, it's like, I cannot wait to see what 5 years old. I cannot wait to see what 10 years old.
We haven't even been in business 2 years, and I am so fortunate and blessed for all my customers that come in and have supported me, and the repeat customers and the people that come in twice a week and, come in on Thursdays and come in on Saturdays for breakfast. And it's great. I mean, I love every single minute of it.
Yeah, just say a year ago, did you think you'd be where you're at today?
I don't necessarily know that I'd be where I am at today, but
on this couch right now,
I are correct.
On a podcast
at 5, whatever time it is. No, I knew if I was going to do something that I would succeed, because that's just my personality. I don't ever do anything halfway.
Good language.
You can say half.
I'm either all in or I'm all out.
We can't cuss. We do get a little we've got feedback that we need to be a little more edgy.
Okay. So I don't do anything half-ass.
Just go as edgy as you want. Just go for it.
No, I just don't. I get excited over ideas that my staff has. I get excited over ideas that I have. I get excited to tell my dad about him. And some of them he shoots down. And some of them he's like, yeah, let's do it. So I'm very excited about it.
Good.
I'm very excited about my future is what I'm very excited about.
I feel like sometimes, though, the ideas that are shot down are sometimes some of the best ideas.
Oh, they make a repeat.
Yeah, they definitely
and they have.
Bring it up next week.
I know that I was like someone that would tell people ideas and yeah, not possible.
And then you circle back to it.
And then it's like I'm circling back to it and people are still telling me it's not possible.
Uh-huh.
Like, you know how many people told me that I couldn't open up a marketing company? A lot. They're like, do you know that 97% of marketing companies fail in the first 2 years? So they're just filling my head with all these bullshit stats that I don't really care to hear.
Right.
That, once again, I'm not going to fail at something.
No.
If I'm going to do it, our goal is not to be, right now, we've surpassed most of these marketing.
You're just like I am. You'll work harder to succeed.
Exactly.
You'll get up earlier. You'll be the guy that's hustling even harder just to make it succeed.
Nobody wants second place.
Nope.
I'm not here for second place.
That's first loser.
Exactly. But it's very much into that same
and I have such a great support staff. My husband has been wonderful. He's so supportive. He'd like to get out of town every now and then. And we will. And we do. But yeah, it's good.
For sure.
So going back to, I know when you went into shipping, I know that was something that was kind of touched at, no, let's stay local. You came in, you're like, I want to do that. What were some of the methods you did for expanding on that shipping side?
So the shipping thing, so Kansas City, we do ship to some local people. I feel like, and I'd have to look at the age group.
I need down to a T exact numbers.
I have to know the age group, but I feel like a lot of people in Kansas City started shipping during COVID, right? So we'd ship our products to them locally. I knew that we needed to go nationwide because my brother is in every grocery store and they're in most of the restaurants. And so I knew I needed to take it outside of Kansas City. So when I started with Dane, he's like, let's target right outside of Kansas City at first. So Nebraska, Iowa, Arkansas, those Oklahoma, right there, we targeted, and we have great success with that area. I do ship a lot to Arizona, not because my kids are there, but Arizona, California, Florida. Those have been and most of those people are retired people that remember the store back in the day, used to live here in Kansas City, and are so glad that we can ship to them now. So.
And I think on that, I mean, you and I have been working on a whole nother forefront of objection to overcome on shipping costs, things like that.
Correct.
And I don't think a lot of people even understand that side of it.
No.
I didn't. I feel way more knowledgeable on food shipping than I ever thought I would be in my life. When I'm sitting down, I'm like, whoa, let's going over all the numbers from our side.
Right.
That we ended up on a whole new forefront of.
It's very. I mean, it's expensive as a business owner to take perishable goods and ship it nationwide. I mean, people don't understand that the cooler, the box, the dry ice, how much it costs me to ship it, and so yeah, our shipping costs may be a little high. We're trying to get it down. I'm trying to find vendors that have supplies where it's not astronomical to me to purchase, so that I could lower that cost for my consumers.
I feel like everyone's just so used to Amazon.
I think Amazon's messed up the world in that side.
Do they ship a lot of perishables though? I mean,
I went on there before. I don't buy food on there.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know.
I buy some ramen. You can get some good ramen.
But I'm not really sure on how that side works. But
that also costs a penny to make and
yeah,
costs you 39 cents.
Don't be knocking me down.
I like ramen.
but it was something that was so, I don't know, on something I didn't understand at all.
Right.
And it happened because we're real big on running video, like video. So I'm like, I want to come in and I want to film from like this shipment coming in to this shipment going out.
It's a lot.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's a lot of dry ice. That's a really nice styrofoam container that goes in a box. It goes into all this stuff. I'm like, that's not cheap.
No.
So then all of a sudden, that's where those numbers made sense, which before I'm like, well, maybe they're just trying to make money on shipping, which there's no money being made on ship.
None.
There's money being lost on shipping.
Correct.
So. But that's just something that was so, I don't know, it's something that I didn't understand.
But I do feel like it's important that I need to get my products to these people. I mean, I have repeat customers that get online and order every single month, and they're the same people.
And if I'm ordering a lot of money worth of food, that's the last thing I want to show up to my house and be bad.
Yeah.
Correct.
Or being like even iffy. Like,
Yeah, we don't want no iffy.
Should I eat it or not?
Yeah. And then, as the weather gets hotter in Arizona and California and Florida, you got to add more dry ice. And
yeah. That's where I thought I came to the table with all these good ideas. And she's like, it gets really hot. Like,
it's 117 in Arizona.
Yeah,
you can't just go with the old 15 pounds of dry ice.
Right now with our Missouri weather, you can just throw it out in a box and probably not even really worry about it.
Yeah. It could sit in a warehouse over the weekend. No big deal.
That's, I think, another thing that has taken off so much on the other side, too, is the catering.
Catering's been fantastic. And I do owe props to you for that. You hit a lot
Not
of...
me. These people.
To all your
I promise
colleagues.
you that I'm not making this.
Everyone that way.
Yeah.
To all your colleagues.
Yeah.
Thank you. Catering has been fantastic. From little small office parties to, I did a event for Christmas that was a charcuterie table on an island that was 36 by 112 and wanted the whole thing in our charcuterie board. So, and I just got another email on that one. So that's been fantastic. We try and package things COVID friendly. Some people have kind of eased up on that where they want to do buffet style. So we try and tailor it to whatever the customer's needs are.
Mm-hmm.
If they want it packaged separately, we do that. We try and accommodate everyone.
I don't feel like in the Kansas City area anyone's capitalized on that catering space. Also, on top of it, if I'm catering food, what better food to have there than your food?
Correct.
Everyone that's going to come there.
Mhm.
Then you're going to have, I have a catering event, which I know when we spoke last time, which was last week.
Yeah.
Last week I was
5 days ago.
Yeah. She goes, I have an event right now that I'm catering for 300 people.
Right.
You're going to get 300 new clients off that because they're going to come there and they're going to eat that and they're going to be like, whoa.
Where's this from?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yes. And the word of mouth has been fantastic. I mean, people that have come in that have used to go to the old store and come in now and tell everybody that we're there, and just trying to be dominant on social media
Yeah.
is very important. And I try and do something every day. There's some days that I don't, but I try and put it out there every day, at least something, or 3 times a week. I need to get better about planning and just having it go out. But
I will say so we don't do a lot of social media management of daily posting, organic things like that. We specialize in the ad side.
correct.
We specialize in bringing you new clients.
We have a ton of new clients every day.
the clients you have, you are phenomenal at retaining. That's what somebody comes there, they have a phenomenal experience. Food was great, everything like that. That's why you get the 5-star reviews all the time. That's why those kind of things happen.
Right.
We are not worried on our side at all if you're going to retain those people. Our deal is we want more new people coming in there day after day after day. And you are among the companies we work with, one of the better ones at keeping up organically all the time.
Yes, I try and post our specials every day. That's one thing that the customers like is having specials, and we have a lot of new things to add to that in the next couple months.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. We're reworking the menu.
Insider trading
yes,
again.
yes. Reworking the menu and trying to come up with new ideas for catering, and as well as the daily specials and just some new items on the menu. I don't want to be stagnant ever.
I feel like you're definitely not stagnant. Stagnant
No.
would not be a word that I'd probably use with Toni.
I don't
or
want my
Scimeca.
menu to be stagnant either. So
No.
I'm trying to evolve it and change it and add some new features to the market side.
Are you going to give any hints?
No.
No hints.
Not.
We can sit in
Not,
silence until
not
we get
today.
some.
Yeah.
We'll just sit here for 15 minutes till we get something.
Yeah. No, there's a lot on the forefront that's about to happen, and I think it's going to be great. It's going to add new customers, and
So when should we be expecting this on social
soon,
media?
very soon.
Very soon.
Got to train some people, and then
Check daily.
yes,
She's
Check
got
daily.
a lot of pokers in the fire. She's got a lot of things happening.
lots.
And I can't tell you guys either. So
And I'm very excited about it. I mean, it's going to be phenomenal.
And this is the first time hearing about it. I'm excited.
I don't expect any less of phenomenal.
Was it you that came in and did the video? Who was it that came in?
That's
Ricky.
Ricky.
Yeah, Ricky.
Not
I
into
was,
the podcast though.
Ricky, I was supposed to do
A voiceover.
A voiceover. And
I never
the day
got-
you came
Just
in,
so you know, I didn't get it, Ricky.
Ricky, how busy was it the day you came in? Yeah. I couldn't even look up and talk to him. I was like,
That's most time I come in there. I'm pretty happy if I find a place to sit. If I come in, I'm like,
I've
whoa,
remodeled
there's
3
a
times. There's
table.
plenty of seating now.
I know you
Ricky's
just
like,
keep making it bigger and bigger
I
and bigger,
know.
and then it's full and full and full, and it kind
Yeah.
of keeps expanding.
Ricky's just over there going,
Hey,
I see you're busy, but I need you for about 20 minutes.
And then he was filming my coworker Shannon making a sandwich. She's like, you need to move out of the way. I need to wrap this sandwich.
Ricky's like, let me get the one last shot, and we're good.
And Ricky's too nice. He's like, okay. He's
Yeah,
like,
he
I'll-
stepped back.
I'll catch the next one.
I was waiting for him to come back and say, can we do this voiceover? And he's like, he just took off.
Yeah.
So
Then she's texting me. She's like, hey, I'm supposed to do that voiceover.
I did try it in my office and try and record it and send it to you, but I didn't like the sound of my voice. It happened like 3 times, and I was like, yeah, I'm just not
I mean,
gonna
we
send
probably
it.
should have videoed you trying to do that. That
You should. It was like a scripted, and I don't do well on scripts. So
Yeah.
I just like off the cuff. I'm good off the cuff.
I like how we send you over like what we're going to talk about in the podcast, and she shows up. She's like, I didn't look at that.
I
at
did.
all."
I just read them one time quickly.
That's
That's all I needed.
that's better than me because most of the time they send these out. And I'm like, I haven't looked
What are we
at it.
talking about?
And then I'm like looking at the TV over here. I'm like, well, which one? Like,
Hey,
where's my
It's
deal?
glasses, contacts, glasses. Just try it.
Yeah.
You're squinting.
What does that say?
Hey, can we get a close up of that?
Yeah.
Can we get a close up of that?
Yeah.
What?
What? See, this is what they do. They just stop and they just stare at me like,
Yeah.
what's he gonna say? What's he gonna
What's
say?
next?
I think we put Lauren. I think we can stare at
All right,
Lauren. What do you-
Lauren,
what-
stare at
what
me.
we gonna
Where are we
say?
going?
So a few minutes back, I was going to make a point on the very first time that I came into Scimeca's. I obviously had never been there before, was not familiar with the
You
menu.
didn't even introduce yourself to me, did you?
I,
Whoa.
I think you were-
Tony there.
I think you were running around.
Yeah.
No, she
This is
wasn't.
awkward.
No, she wasn't.
She was in her office the entire time.
But when I went up to go order my food, I of course asked the most dreaded question, like, what do you recommend? I remember when I was a waitress, I hated being asked that question, but I did ask, what do you recommend? And the staff member that you had taking orders at that time she had the best answer. She was like, well, what do you like? And I was like, well, she was like, do you like
Had to be
buffalo?
Aaron.
She was like, do you like buffalo? Do you like pesto? And I was like, yeah, I like those both, because obviously I've read through the views. I've heard, obviously, chicken parm you cannot go wrong with.
Or
Right.
the eggplant parm. That's what I get.
Even
Chicken spadini.
Logan and Dalton were like, you need to go for the chicken parm. I was like, I want to try something new, because they all got the same thing. Your staff member was absolutely amazing about like asking what I like, and she's like, well, I recommend this, but she's like, if you don't like that, I recommend this. Like, had the best answer where she easily could have been like, it's all good, or I don't know, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Customer service is huge, and
Very huge.
just to be able to have someone that went out of their way and do something that they didn't have to do was like top notch.
I think I've been asked that 12 times today. 12 times. What do you recommend? And
Yeah, I know.
I always give my same answer. Our number one hot sandwiches are Italian sausage, meatball, chicken parm, or Italian steak.
Eggplant parmesan there?
It's
Oh my goodness.
it is. It's on there.
I'm the
on
only one
there.
that gets it.
It's just my top 3.
It's not the top 4.
They're gonna think I'm crazy.
And then the cold sandwiches like the 1935 or the muffalata. The buffalo chicken's really good too. I mean, you really can't go wrong. But we make at least 75 1935s every single day. At least.
How many?
About 75.
That's a lot of sandwiches.
Yeah.
I think I could maybe, if I like started in the morning and ended by night, maybe 75 sandwiches total.
We make a lot of sandwiches.
Where you ate 2 sandwiches for lunch yesterday.
Hey, you don't need to be telling everyone. It was a sandwich and a
Was
half.
not at Scimeca's.
It wasn't. No,
It was not at
I'm not
Scimeca's.
even
I'm
gonna
completely
name,
joking.
I'm not even going to name drop where I was at. It was only a sandwich and a half. I did order 2, but I only ate 1.5. What
Very
a
good.
narc.
What a
I've got a
narc.
spotlight.
And not to even have an eggplant parm from Scimeca's.
For real. This was very close to home. So, anytime we head southbound from where we're at, we always hit Scimeca's.
Yes.
That's why everyone here has been there multiple times.
Correct. And I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
why we
thank
keep
you.
going back.
There's nowhere, if I'm heading south, there's nowhere I'd rather eat.
Oh, that's nice, Dan.
Did we get
You're-
sentimental?
Yeah, that was very nice.
That's very sentimental.
It was. So Toni, I know you said there's some things that are a secret. Is there anything that you could tell us or tell the listeners? Where do you see Scimeca's going in the coming years? Not necessarily, maybe not the one like the specifics, but like, is there
Having
any
a
big
ticker on stock exchange?
Can we get what that ticker is going to be so I would get early inside
I'm just
trader
kidding.
on it?
Just kidding. He keeps talking about inside trade. I'm like, we're gonna have a ticker. I'm just kidding. Where do I see myself? I see myself leaving an even better legacy or comparable legacy that my father, my grandfather, my great grandfather, and my brother have done. Again, I'm very blessed that I've been in this business and they gave me the shot at continuing the Scimeca name because it's so important to me to expand this business and keep it around. And hopefully, both my children are in business. I don't know that they're doing a whole lot with that right now because
They're in college.
Yeah,
That doesn't count.
they're living the best life.
Yeah.
But I hope that one day they want to pursue the business and even take it further than I do.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I think it's been very cool watching from what you have furthered that legacy, that you're growing it larger and larger, that your grandparents, your parents have made a huge footprint. You're making that footprint that much bigger.
Yeah.
Well, they're a huge impact on my life, and I wouldn't be where I am without them today.
Yeah, and it's, I mean, you are taking it further and further and further, and as people go in there and you increase that customer service being phenomenal all the time, the food being phenomenal all the time, 100% of the business just being right. Once again, that makes our job very easy.
You're welcome.
Thank you. There's
Let
a
me
lot
help
of
you.
Yeah, let me make it easy for you guys. There's a lot of places that when we started, you had another marketing company.
Correct.
And you're like, I just don't really see the results, things like that. And it was a much more of a social management company.
Correct.
So I'm not going to say we're on the same forefront of
Nope.
what that company did.
You're
And
not.
there's a lot of companies out there that do social management for people that really don't return the dollars and cents to that company. When we sat down, we spoke, it was our sole objection, or our sole objective was going to be bringing
More
a
customers.
lot
Yes.
of new clientele to you.
Correct. And you have,
So-
and it's been great, and keep them coming. I'm ready.
It's something that grows month over month, and it is came so quick that I think from Lauren's side, from Dre's side, from everyone else working here, sees it that that's one account that, like, your account isn't something we ever worry about.
Mm-mm.
Well, I'm not going anywhere. It's only going to get better.
I'm assuming there's going to be another Toni podcast down
I'll
the road.
come back anytime you guys have me.
Just weekly. It's just going to be a Toni
Every
podcast
week.
from now on. But there's going to be a lot more coming down the road and things like that. So we would love to talk to you again.
Anytime.
And if anyone watching, everyone watching, Scimeca's, Kansas City, Toni, we're going to drop links below, everything like that. You can go check them out.
1611 Swift Street, North Kansas City.
Best lunch in town.
SciMecasOnline.com.
Yep. Catering, anything like that.
Nationwide shipping.
Nationwide. All of our nationwide followers.
Correct.
I feel like we're doing really well in Kansas City. I don't know if our nationwide following is there yet, but we're working on it.
We'll get there.
I'm on here, so.
Yeah. So you're going to
It's about to take off.
You're going to
Yes.
I'm going to blow you guys up.
blow us out of the water. But
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
yeah,
Glad you
So-
can make it.
thank you
Yes.
very much.
Fit us
Yeah.
into your busy schedule.
I will. You have to set an appointment between, I get there at 6:45, so.
This is the only
Before
appointment
10. Before
we've
10.
ever had
6:50 to
after
6:55.
hours.
I know. I was like, what time do you need me there?
Can we do it at 6:30 in the morning? So,
I'm better in the morning.
so thank you again. And this is the M3 podcast. Key Ricky.
Thanks for listening to the M3 Podcast. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. Want to learn more? Check us out on Instagram at Moss Marketing Group, on Facebook at Moss Marketing 58, or on our website at mossmarketinggroup.com.